Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage, and today we're going to be having a look at CFX. This is at an almighty move to the upside, so we're going to be discussing what this is doing and where we think this is going. Okay, so let's get into the price action. Okay, so the first thing that I want to discuss here is obviously we do not have a lot of price history for this, so it is quite difficult to work out exactly where this is within the move. What we do have, however, is basically we have this retracement to the downside, and we're starting to move away here, and it does look like this potentially could be impulsive. But the problem we need to just be aware of is that we don't, like I said, we don't have all the information here. So what we need to be careful of is that potentially this is not a completed correction. So I'm going to go over that first, and then we're going to be discussing the possibility of the bullish scenario here. So because we don't have a lot of information here, and we just have this move to the downside here, so what I'm looking out for is the potential that we could potentially look to count this as a corrective move to the upside, and what we could still see is a potential for a C wave to the downside. So a 1-to-1 of that from our current position would actually look to take us down towards the 0.06257. We have come up to the 0.702, which is sitting here at this 4737 area. If we do push up one more time, what I would be looking out for is the potential to actually find a rejection here towards a zone of this 6847 area, which would be a 0.786 retracement. It would also tie in with testing the swing high over here. So potentially it could look to come a little bit higher than this and then possibly still look to break down. So we need to just be careful because one thing we don't have is we do have the potential for five-way structure here like this, and we're going to go over this, but we didn't reach that 1.618. Sometimes this can happen, so this is fine. We just need to see the price action follow it. So this is just being cautious. What I'm looking out for is the potential that instead we have this as a WX and a Y to the upside. This is an X wave, sorry, an ABC to the upside. This is an X wave, and then looking for that potential of another ABC. This potentially, if it does look to come down towards the 0.618 area, could actually look to take us up towards this zone here of this 1-to-1, which would be here at the 79.77. So we can see that this would also tie in with a 0.618 retracement, sorry, 0.618 extension of this W wave. So that would be a minimum level we're looking for. If it does extend up higher, we do have this 108 to this 1013, which would tie in with these two areas here, and then the 854 would also tie in with this area of this $1.30 something area. One area, this 1-to-1 actually really is interesting to me because it would be a retest of this high. Be interesting to see if we do move up there, what happens. Okay, so this is looking at that bearish potential. So this, if we're looking at this as a corrective move like this would actually indicate that, potentially we're going to see a breakdown after this has completed. So this is why it's important to get back above this 68.47 area and actually look to find support above this and look to continue. For as long as we fail to do that, we do have this potential for this downside to play out. Okay, so now if we are talking about this rather as having formed a low in here, there's a couple of ways we can look at this move. So the first way that I'm looking at it is that potentially we just have a simple five-wave move completed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up into this high. And what we could be then looking for is a B wave retracement here. So this typically would look to actually come back towards this 0.1, this 10 cent 29 to this 0.422 area. So this actually, what we'd want to see here is a bigger breakdown, but it doesn't have to happen in a direct line. What we could see is something like this play out as an ABC. This could form our A wave. We could then see a B wave to the upside and then see that continuation down for a C wave. Another area of interest would be this 1326 area. If we do look to break down here, this could be a potential area we at least find support, even if it's temporarily, and we could see something like this where this move breaks down in A, B, and then we get a C wave which comes down deeper, which would actually potentially come look to retest some of these lower areas here. So what we want to see here is, whether if we're forming this, we're going to see a bit of a larger correction here. Losing 0.422 would indicate to me that potentially we could be actually looking for that bearish count. So we don't want to lose this level down here. The alternative way we can look at this is that this is actually extending up, and this would mean that we have a much bigger move that is playing out here. So what we'd be looking at here is that we could potentially have a 1-2, another 1-2, and then actually we're in a bigger third wave here. So this bigger third wave, what we'd be looking for is this $3.50 for a third wave confirmation, we don't have this confirmation yet. And what I'm looking out for is that within this next area here, that we could look to extend out, that this becomes 1 and a 2, and then we actually look to push up. So the target for this area off of this 0.618, which is sitting at this 2181 area, would actually be higher up here towards the zone of this $1.80. So there is quite a way to go to actually get that confirmation. So we need to be careful about this. And we do have the potential that of five-wave structure to the downside here. So we need to be careful that this doesn't look to extend out to the downside here and actually come down and take these lows. If we do manage to hold this 1326 area, potentially we could look to find the support within this range of the 1752 to this 2543 zone. So currently we've actually come down already to that as a 1-to-1 at this 2793 area. If we do look to break down deeper, I would be looking out for potentially a move towards this 0.618 and this 1.618 area here of this 2089. If we do move down to that 2089 area, what we need to be careful of is that this move is not actually beginning to extend to the downside in a five-wave structure. If we do find support here, so if we come down A, B, and C, come down into this zone and then start to form five-wave structure again, taking these highs, that would invalidate that potential of starting to break down from this point. But really, until we actually take this high of this 48.74, we need to be careful because there is that potential that we could have a completed move. Okay, so what would we need to be looking out for? So if we were looking out for the potential of a breakdown, what we could then be looking for is something more like this. And I'm going to come down here into the 4-hourly now. And what I'm looking at within here is that potentially we have a 1, 2. So this can be just A, B, and C, and then it's completed, and then it could look to reverse to the upside. So we've come on to this 1-to-1, like I said. If, however, we do get a drop down towards this 20 cent 89, what this could indicate is that we actually have a bigger third wave, where this becomes wave 1, 2, get a third, get a fourth, and then we have a fifth wave to the downside. So that would potentially actually look to take us towards this 1949 area to the 1744. So this is what we need to be careful of if we do continue to sell off here and move down towards this 20 cent 89. At the moment, what I can see within the structure is it looks like we have an extension here within the third wave, which is pretty standard. It does look like we have some additional structure to the downside here. So I would be looking primarily, I'm actually just going to change these colors here. Primarily what I'm looking for is the blue count here. If this blue count then crosses this 20 cent 89, potentially we can look for that possibility of continuation. It is also possible that within this structure, we could have an extension somewhere else, in which case we could only get one more drop to the downside, but this is what I'm currently looking at as my best interpretation of this. Really what we need to be careful of is until we take these highs, this could always become another 1-2 here, and then we look to progress even deeper. So that's just something we need to be careful of. We need to get back and start taking some of these swing highs here at this 34.24 area, and then obviously this higher range here of this 41.25 for confirmation. So what I'm looking for here is that this does seem to be a third wave completed here. I want to see a three-wave move to the upside. So this zone where we'd be looking for as potential rejection would be this 32.32 to this 29.54. If we do start to break above this 32.32, it is possible that we could have a completed move here as an A, B, and a C, and we could look to actually push up. Though really, until we actually take this high again, we need to be careful, this 44.69. If we do look to complete into this zone, even though I am anticipating some additional structure to the downside here, really until we actually break back above this 40.20, we need to be careful because this could then be forming a 1-2, potentially another 1 and a 2, and then we actually look to break down either that or this would become a W, an X, and then we look for a deeper move in a Y wave, which could look to actually bring us back down towards this low area that we have here towards this 1333. So this is what we need to be careful of if we're looking out for that continuation to the downside. We need to see whether we actually get these additional legs that are indicated here. If we do get this additional leg here towards this 2430 to this 2252 area, what we'd then be looking out for is to see whether the move to the upside is actually going to find support here, because this would actually bring us right into this golden pocket area here. So, potentially this could actually be a zone that this completes just as a corrective move, A, B, and C. But then we'd want to see the price action follow through. And what I mean by that is we want to see good structure to the upside. We want to see something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up, finding support above some highs again, and then forming a 3, 4, and a 5, which looks to take us up towards this $1.80 area. If we fail to achieve that, then what it would potentially mean is that, we'd have to be careful of this retracement area again, this 40 cent 20 to this 34.90 zone, and we could look to actually break down deeper. So we have achieved 1-to-1 here, but the internal counts are suggesting that we still have a little bit more downside to come. And I would be expecting to see these additional waves to the downside here. And we could look to see these play out. Uh, I'm just having a look. 1, 2, 3. It could be a zigzag up here, to be honest with you. The second wave was complex, so we could see something like this ABC, in which case what we could then see is potentially a move up towards the zone of this 3105 area as a fourth. But what we need to just be careful, because obviously these can also evolve. These can become an A wave, a B wave, and then we get another C wave, and it potentially looks to target up higher here towards this 32 area. But yeah, basically until we actually break back above this 32 I would be still focused on seeing some additional rejections to the downside, even if it is just this single one here. Um, Towards this 2618 to this 2454. From that point, I would then be looking out for that possibility of an additional fourth wave up in 3 waves, and then looking for that breakdown once again for this 2430 to this 2252. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Why not come check it out? It's free to join. As well as that, you'll find affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out if you don't have an account. Using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.